Hey everyone, RJ here. Welcome back to the channel, and today I'll be doing an unboxing of the Narzo 35G by Realme. Okay, so the Narzo 35G is a phone that I'm not familiar with at all. I was on Amazon browsing around, happened to see it pop up, and this phone is actually made by Realme. Some of y'all probably heard of Realme, but this is just a whole different name or something. I don't know. It just says Narzo by Realme, and this is a phone that's sub $200. Now, the specs is kind of crazy on this phone. Okay, you can get it right now, I think, for $189, something like that, and the specs are just really good. And I will read you those specs off here before we get in with the unboxing, because I just kind of want to show you what you're going to get for under $200. Now, this phone is not specifically made for the US. From what I've seen a lot in India and stuff like that. But this is one phone here that comes with a lot of LTE bands. Now, I'm not really familiarized myself with 5G bands as of yet, so I may read those off, and if any of y'all know about the 5G bands, you can fill me in down in the comments below. That'd be awesome. But anyway, this phone has a 6.5-inch IPS LCD display coming in at 1080 by 2400 with a 20 by 9 aspect ratio with 405 pixels per inch. This phone also has a 90 hertz display, so that's good, up from 60. No, not quite 120, but hey, it's 90, it's not bad. The processor is a MediaTek Dimensity 700, which is a 5G processor. It's an octa-core processor with a Mali G57 GPU. Now, I'm not really familiar with the Dimensity from MediaTek yet, so I'm not sure if it's a budget processor, mid-range, lower. I don't know. But yeah, this phone has 4 or 6 gigabytes of RAM. This is the 4 gigabyte RAM model, and both have 128 gigabytes of onboard storage, and it also has an SD card slot, so really nice stuff there. This phone has a triple camera setup with a 48 megapixel wide angle lens with aperture of f1.8. It's got a 2 megapixel macro and a 2 megapixel depth sensor, and it shows here video recordings at 1080p at 30 frames per second. We'll verify that later. And the selfie camera is a 16 megapixel wide lens with aperture of f2.1. It can also record 1080p at 30 frames per second, which we will verify later. This phone runs Android version 11 with Realme's UI Skin 2.0, and it's got a number of features like Wi-Fi 802.11, AC dual band, Bluetooth 5.1, USB Type-C, of course, side-mounted fingerprint scanner, a 5,000 milliamp hour non-removable battery with quick charge 18 watt, and all of that for sub $200. Now, I'll get into the LTE bands here in a moment, but we're going to go ahead right now and just pull the top of this box off. This is the first time I'm actually looking and seeing this phone myself. So here we go. We got Feel the Power right there on top. So let's go ahead and pull this out, and we'll see what comes in the box. So right on top here, you will see that it does come with a gel skin case. So it's always nice to get a case. We'll leave that out because that's going to go on the phone. Here, of course, is your quick start guide and all that kind of good stuff there. So now here is the phone. We'll go ahead and just pop this phone out here, and we'll put it to the side for a little bit as well. We'll take a look at that in a moment. We'll see what else does come in the box. So you do get this charger. Now, mine did come with a US plug in addition to this here, of course, and you also have your USB Type-C charging cable here as well. So I'll go ahead, put all this stuff away, and we'll look at the phone. Okay, so we're back with the phone in hand. Now, look at this phone. This thing is beautiful. I mean, look at design. Now, this is called Racing Blue, and I think it also comes in a Racing Silver as well. And this design is beautiful. Now, it is made out of plastic. You can just go ahead and tell that right out of the gate. It is made of a plastic build, but it's a very beautiful design. Look at this phone. Now, back here, of course, you do get your 3 cameras and your flash. I mean, they could have probably put in a force for ultra wide, but for reasons unknown, they didn't. But you can see right there, Narzo, designed by Realme. Now on the right side here, you got your power button that doubles as a fingerprint scanner. On top, you have nothing. You have your SIM and SD card tray and your volume rocker. And on the bottom, you have your bottom firing speaker, USB Type-C charging port, microphone, and 3.5mm headphone jack. Let's go ahead here and give it a boot up. Now, side-mounted fingerprint scanners has definitely never been my favorite. Okay, whenever it comes to fingerprint scanners, I prefer them under display or here in the back. Never on the side. Just no luck with them things. But you can see right there, Realme, powered by Android. So yeah, I'll go ahead, get this phone here all set up, and I'll come back when it's finished. Okay, so we're all set up now and ready to go. Now this phone here has a side-mounted fingerprint scanner, and like I mentioned earlier, that's one of the worst places in my opinion for a fingerprint scanner. But this one here works very well. Just look at this. I'm gonna tap it and boom. I mean, it is on. It is quick. Well, there we go. And also face unlock. Just watch this, okay? Okay, we're gonna open it with a different finger here. And look at that. I mean, that is just blazing fast. That's quick. You know what I'm saying? So this phone here being sub $200, and this thing is just fast, it's fluid. And I did put my SIM card in here and get it all set up. And of course, you see an X up there, you know, T-Mobile SIM card. Or service through T-Mobile, and you know T-Mobile really cares for their rural customers, you know. But anyway, this is a whole different video entirely. But anyway, you can see here I don't have nothing really installed except for Geekbench. What you see on the phone is what came preloaded, which was Amazon Music, Amazon Store, Booking.com, stuff like that, Netflix, and all that kind of stuff. So it can be uninstalled if you don't want it, but a lot of those apps, you know, are good to have. But yeah, pretty much just not a whole lot here on the phone. Now, like I said, this phone does have a 1080p display with a 90Hz refresh rate, and right now it's set up automatic, I do believe, but we'll verify that. But this thing here's already got an update. Got to verify. I didn't even verify it whenever it got done. Yeah, anyway. Let's pull the drop down. And this phone runs so smooth, okay? I mean, it's hard to believe what you can get now for the price. It's just crazy. But you got your Wi-Fi, you got your flashlight mode there, you got OSIE visual effect, and that just kind of like sharpens up your video, stuff like that. Kind of nice. And you got personal hotspot, screen recording, Realme share, nearby share, NFC, screencast, and all that kind of stuff. Now, this phone has a lot of really good settings, okay? One thing I wish that it had, I wish all phones that are unlocked for GSM carriers had, is Wi-Fi calling. I think that it's kind of ridiculous not to have Wi-Fi calling on phones nowadays. It's not the only one that doesn't have it. There's many that don't have it, but it's needed. So, especially if you got T-Mobile. But anyway, got personalizations here. You can go in here and change your wallpapers, change your icon styles, your app layout. You can go in here and change your colors, which I really like. You can go in here and make it a solid color, make it a cool color. You can just change everything here. So yeah, really nice stuff going on in there. Single color. So let's back out of that. You got your font and display size, notification drawer, which basically you can just change the shapes, as you can see right there. So back out of that. Now down here at home screen and lock screen, you got your home screen mode for your standard mode, drawer mode, or simple mode. I like the app drawer, so I'm leaving it there. Icon autofill. You got your home screen layout. You can change that. Home screen locked. A lot of good features there. Now here at display and brightness, got your light and dark theme, which I want to change the dark theme because it just looks better here on camera. You have your dark mode settings right here. Okay, auto bright, eye comfort, auto rotate, auto screen, screen color temperature, your OSIE effect. So you can see right there how it looks. We'll turn it on, and you can just kind of see there how it just kind of goes from more of a bland color to a more vibrant color. So haven't really tested it out for video yet, but we'll see how that does. Now you have your fonts and display size. You got your more here for your screen color mode, which is vivid and gentle. We'll leave it there at vivid. And also your refresh rate is here, auto select 90 Hertz or 60 Hertz. Let's go to 90 Hertz here just to see, you know, what it's like and all. And screen display, yeah, stuff like that. Okay, back out of that. So down here and it feels very smooth. I mean, just that scrolling is just really good. So anyway, down here at sound and vibration. Now this does only have one single bottom firing speaker, which is unfortunate, but the phone's still $200, so kind of got to give that a pass there a little bit. Not really, but we will because of the price. Notification and status bar. You got all of this here. I'm not going to read it all, but you can look at all that stuff here that it includes. Now, I do like the fact that, just like some of the OnePlus devices, the time, you can have it to where it'll show hours and minutes, minutes and seconds, or just do not show at all. And I just prefer not to show at all. So that's kind of nice to have that. Real-time network speed, status icons, media playback controls, and all that stuff there. Now here at password and biometrics, you do have your face, fingerprint, lock screen password, and set privacy password. So yeah, that here at privacy, got security here as well. And you can see here, this does have January 1st, 21 Google Play security, but the security update is June 5th of 2021. So about 2 months behind there on the security update, but yeah, it's all good. So down here at convenience tools, you got navigation, and I get your swipe gesture from both sides or your virtual buttons, which are down here. You can also change them to the left, to the right, but I'm gonna go up here to swipe gestures just because I do like it. Pull down to enter one-handed mode, gesture tutorial, and yeah, all that kind of stuff there. So you also got smart sidebar here. Now, I haven't tested this, but you can turn that on and swipe this way here, and it brings up just different stuff, okay? You see this here on a lot of phones nowadays, and this has got it as well. However, I just prefer to turn that off and keep it off because I just don't like it. So, also got Wake, Google Assistant with power button. That's definitely off. Like there's not enough buttons or not enough swipes to wake Google Assistant, okay? You also got screen recording, screenshot, gestures and motions here. So you got all these screen off gestures, swipe down with 3 fingers, take a screenshot, race to wake, auto ear pickup calls, and all that stuff there. So a lot of really good features here on this, Realme Narzo device. Now here's storage. It is 128 gigs, and there is 19.6 gigabytes used, and the system using 11.9 gigs. Now, we're going to go on down here to About Phone, and you will see all of this, okay? It tells you the name, the version, the UI version, the Android version, the processor, the RAM. It says 4 gigs plus 1 gig. I'm not really understanding what that means. I'm guessing maybe they added an extra gig. I mean, it says here, RAM expansion. When enough storage space is available, you can use part of it to expand your RAM. Wow, okay, so you can expand it by 1 gig, 2 gigs, or 3 gigs. That's pretty cool that you can actually use, yeah, you can expand your RAM. Okay, I like it. I mean, it's just a bunch of stuff with this phone. And for sub $200, for the time that I have been using this phone, it has just been really nice, okay? I mean, it's very smooth, very fluid there with that 90 hertz display. And honestly, I'm really liking this phone. Now, one of the things about this phone that, I wish it had was Wi-Fi calling. Now, I know that all phone manufacturers do not add that to their phones. Some do, some don't, but I wish this one did. Like I said, I'm with T-Mobile, and I basically have no service whatsoever in my area. Now, before anybody says, well, if you wouldn't buy a Chinese phone, you don't have that problem. Nah, this one here has a lot of LTE bands for the US, going from 1 to 66. I don't have the list on me right now for the bands, but it's got a lot, really the majority of LTE bands for the US. And like I say, I'm really not sure about 5G bands. I haven't really learned all that stuff yet, but I mean, I have managed to pull like 1 bar of 4G LTE here in my house, but it goes away as fast as it comes. So, I mean, yeah, you can just kind of see here. I mean, this thing here, it just scrolls so smoothly. I mean, it is just so fluid. I mean, this MediaTek chip, the Dimensity 700, is very solid. Now, just for a brief moment, we'll take a look at the camera. And you have your 1x, you have your 2 times, and you have your 5 times. You can see right down to the fabric there. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's really good. So back to 1x here, you got your beautification, which is at 0% from default, which is nice. Now you got your night mode, Your video mode is here as well, which also goes 2 times into 5 times. And now up here in the settings, you got watermarks, you have shutter sound, you have location, you have advanced settings here for flip selfie, quick share, and edit as well. Now you are only able to record at 1080p at 30 frames and 720 30 frames per second. I was hoping for a 60 frames options, but hey, it is what it is, you know. So yeah, basic stuff there that you see. This button up here also has ultra steady mode. So we'll test that out and see how that goes there as well. Now over here at photos, you got your filters up here, which there's a lot of them. Got your AI mode. We got portrait mode here, your 48 megapixel mode, and you got more for slow-mo, panorama, time-lapse, text scanner, ultra macro, and you got your expert pro mode there. So I mean, the front camera also is 1080p and 720 30 frames per second as well. So, you know, this phone does not have an ultra wide lens. They could have put it on this phone. I'm not really sure why they didn't, but to be honest with you, for the price you're paying for this phone, you know, sub $200, from what I have been seeing so far, this phone has just worked great. It has had no issues running Android 11. It's done got a security patch when I first took it out of the box. So more testing is needed, like call quality, reception, and you know, LTE or 5G speeds or whatever the case may be, and just see how it does, you know, overall. But you know, if I had to give this phone any downside whatsoever, it would be for the fact that it only has one single bottom firing speaker, which, you know, nowadays, once you have a phone with dual speakers, you just need it. You know what I'm saying? And also the fact that the phone has no Wi-Fi calling, you know, but, you know, it's nice to have all this stuff to come with the box. I mean, it does have this case here as well because, you know, I got online, looked at the cases, and I really didn't see any. So it's nice, really. It's a little hard to get on there. Okay, there we go. But anyway, you can see the case there. Still shows off the phone really nice, and it looks really good. So, you know, it's nice to have that here on the phone when there's not many cases available already. So, this is the Narzo 35G by Realme. Really nice phone. I'll leave a link down below in the description, you know, if you're interested in this phone and all that kind of good stuff. So, if it's helpful, informative in any way, hit that like button. Any questions that you may have, leave it down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. That would really be appreciated. Y'all have a good one, and thanks for watching.